is 97.9 WRMF, Palm Beach.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ Show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, called so you spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ Show.
Here we go. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the KBJ Show. What is up, everybody? Yeah. Good to see y'all over here. Dennys is kind of working fast and furiously.
He is. Well, they came in here and they realized that one of the cameras was pooped out. So there's cords and movement and wires and all kind of hustling.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I mean,
keep the cameras on y'all. I'll look rough today.
keep them on Kevin.
It's just the Kevin Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
All Kevin, all
just
day.
like Kevin, trying to hog the cameras and all the glory.
He actually broke the other cameras so no one else would be seen.
That's right. Just keep them all on me. Nothing but Kevin. Who needs to see anyone else?
How's your finger?
It's okay. It's not too bad. I would say today it is improved from yesterday. So, keeping an eye on that.
It has improved, and you don't
Twisted?
feel ill or anything?
No, I feel
You're
fine.
good.
I iced it down several times yesterday, and that was pretty much what they said online. So yeah, I think it's all good. But yeah, you just never know. I mean, it's crazy all those horror stories. I got like 20 texts of people going, "I almost lost my finger to MRSA."
Yeah, I know.
You never know what kind of spider bit you because it's not like you can track it down and interview him.
Yeah, I didn't see it happen. I just woke up and it was that way.
There is a percentage of people, no matter what situation you're dealing with, they come with the complete horrifying stats. I remember when I gave my kidney, 10% of people, there's a really good chance you could die. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Or they tell me a story about their uncle who had some kind of weird thing. I'm like,
He gave a kidney, everything was fine, and then that kidney gave out and he died.
The Chewy stuff. Chewy's sick. Oh, yeah, you got to put Chewy down. He's dying.
People always love to come with that rare worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hit you up with that. So, no, I think we're good. I think I'm going to keep my finger. We'll see how it goes, though. You never know. I might just wake up tomorrow and it's gone.
You'd make it work, though.
I would. I'd be all right. It's okay. It's not that big a deal. It's just one finger. I got 9 more.
I'm just saying, your severed finger would make a great item in the mystery box.
It would.
It really would.
We would get a lot of props out of it. Yeah, there's a lot of fun things that we would do. That fun little bit where we just put something weird out and get people's reactions. We definitely would do that.
What
Can you
the
imagine?
hell is that?
Just put that down on the kitchen counter and the break room and just wait to see how people respond to that.
So here's my question about like a severed finger. If you put a severed finger out and a slice of pizza out, what are animals going to go for first? Would they prefer the finger or they prefer human food?
I don't know. It sounds like a great experiment. We just need a finger. And when mine falls off, we'll try it.
I got the pizza, baby.
Add that to the list. We'll see. I don't know. What if the finger were on the pizza?
Wow. You're just throwing a lot of curveballs at me.
Finger pizza. Who knows? So we're getting it going. KVJ TV is up and running. Dennys is coming through with it, making it all happen. But nothing like having to see Dennys. I never seen him move so fast.
I think there's a bead of sweat on his upper lip.
Yeah, he has been hustling.
Yeah. So there you go. So a lot of
Man, I am jealous of Denny's hair. He has got the perfect 1977 hair right now.
It looks good, doesn't it?
It looks great.
Yeah, it really does. That is fantastic. Yeah, check that out. That's it. And it just grows in naturally like that. Yeah, wow. That is impressive. All right, well, you can dial us up on YouTube right now. Just look for it. And, of course, we're on that free 97.9 WRMF app and your smart speakers. Just say, play the KVJ Show.
It's the KVJ, dirt of the day. It's the KVJ.
No, it's good.
It's more of just an AJ song. You can barely hear his daughter.
Yeah, where's his daughter?
I mean, they're real low. It's like, AJ, get to the song. Let's go.
And stop going, come on, y'all, come on. It's a very peaceful song.
45 seconds of hyping.
You're hyping up a very peaceful song. It doesn't fit.
It's not a rap song.
It's definitely not a rap song.
But the message is there.
The message is there.
I love that.
A for effort, C for execution.
It's so weird. Just did hype guy on that song.
Come on, hey, put your hands up, y'all.
Next song, Fire and Rain by James Taylor, y'all.
I don't think you're capturing the original intended message and feeling.
I love it, though.
Songs that don't need a hype guy.
Right?
Yeah.
And finally here, two former romantic partners of Johnny Depp, two women that spent a good bit of time with him, are coming to his defense and plan to testify in his upcoming trial against Amber Heard. She is claiming that he was violent with her, but both Vanessa Paradis and Winona Ryder are coming to his defense and saying that no, they never knew him to be a violent person. He was with Vanessa for 14 years and was with Winona back in the 90s, and both of these women are ready to testify. There was supposed to be a trial in London starting on March 25th, but because of all the COVID stuff, that was put on hold. The case has now been rescheduled for July.
Listen to the audio of Amber Heard yelling at Johnny Depp, and then you tell me how you feel about Amber Heard.
It does not paint her in a very good light.
It paints her in a terrible light. She admits to stuff.
She admits to setting him up and starting fights with him, and she got physical first, and it's horrible, some of the stuff she said to him. So this will be very interesting to see how it plays out in court. And that is what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
The KVJ Show mornings and the best variety from the 2000s, 10s, and today for your workday. 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you think about today, Jay Bird?
Well, you can tell they're opening things up a little bit. People are kind of they're jumping in the pool now. I went to Walmart yesterday, and it was very packed. It was pretty busy yesterday, more than I had seen the last week or so.
They're not doing that thing where they're trying to limit the amount of customers.
It didn't seem like it. I walked right in. It wasn't a problem. Now, they do have a lot of those little signs where, you got arrows and, where to go, where to walk. And I was in the frozen food section, and it gets kind of uncomfortable because you don't know who's going to get mad if you're near them or if you're close. Mm-hmm. And this one very large family. When I say large, I don't mean their bodies. I mean they had a lot of people with them. Mm-hmm. They were kind of stopped and kind of milling around where you're trying to cut through another aisle. So I'm waiting for them to go past me because I don't know what they're doing. I'm trying to read it, but this is only 3 seconds. And then there's this other girl coming from the other side, and she looks at me and she starts snapping her fingers to, "Can you go? Can you go now?" And snapped at me like I was the one blocking everything. And really rude, and I just go, you're rude like that, because she was snapping at me like that. So then I see her walk over to some guy she's with and pointing over at me and Dennys, and then they start kind of walking and following us, and this guy's eyeballing me the whole entire time.
Oh, big legging you.
I'm just like, what? I
Curbside delivery.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said anything, but the way she was really...
You shouldn't have gone in.
I hear you. I hear you. I had to get some items.
I know.
The tape zones that they've done on the floor, has Walmart, have they taped out a fighting zone anywhere?
No kidding. This girl was ready to, she snapped at me.
Yeah.
She snapped at her fingers. She's raising her voice at me.
She physically snapped at you.
She did.
Snapped her fingers. See, this is the aggravation that I don't need, because you push me the wrong way in a Walmart and I might start throwing fisticuffs.
Well, at first I laughed because I'm thinking she's not being that rude. And
she's not physically snapping at people.
And then she said something else because I'm trying to process the whole thing, and I'm trying not to run into this family either. And I'm just stuck in the middle of the frozen food section. And she was with some other dude, and then the guy starts following me and Dennys.
Oh,
like he's gonna stare you down and intimidate you. Who needs that?
We go to the shirt section. Him and his girl like the shirt. He's just looking at us. And I'm thinking, all right, I don't want this. I'm not trying to get into a fight in Walmart. I'm here just to get some frozen food.
It's so stupid.
But if you want to fight, you know where to go.
If you want to fight, go to a store, go to a crowded store.
I think it's the only reason my town built a Walmart, just for a place for people to meet up and fight.
I know it sounds like I always got these Curb Your Enthusiasm moments. Maybe
it does.
Maybe it's the man. I don't know.
It's partially.
But I swear to you, I wasn't doing anything. I was just stuck in the middle of the aisle. Can you move?
Yeah.
Ay.
That's life right now.
Is life right now.
Virginia, what's on your mind?
Well, exactly what he did yesterday is why I did what I did yesterday. So I had a fungus tree. Have you ever had a tree that got one of those black funguses on it?
Yeah.
So if you have a tree that has this fungus, it's got to come out. And it starts infecting the other trees around it. So anything that's got the black fungus on it has to come out. So I had all these trees in the front of the house, cut out. Uncle Jerry came over and did it, which was so awesome. Because can you imagine me with a chainsaw? No.
I wouldn't want to.
So he removed this whole tree, but now the front window of my house is like all exposed. And so you can see like right into the house, and the tree left all this black fungus on the house. So I needed to get like a little pressure washer and stuff. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going into Home Depot because of exactly the story Jay Bird says right here, the Walmart story. I don't want to be around people because people are stupid right now.
They kind of are.
They're stupid, and everybody's set, including myself.
They're edgy.
Including myself.
Yeah.
I'm putting myself in that too. I'm super edgy too.
You look a little edgy.
So if somebody snaps on me, I'm going to snap on them. I don't belong around people, and I recognize this.
I'm glad you're here.
You're giving me heart palpitations, Virginia.
So I went on HomeDepot.com. I ordered all my random stuff. I needed more rocks. Still working on that rock garden in the backyard. I needed the pressure washer. And they have curbside pickup, just like a lot of these places do. I did not even have to get out of my car.
Yeah.
Popped the trunk. Told them through the crack in my window what my order number was. They put the stuff in the back of the car, and I drove off. I saw so many people going into Walmart. Drama, masks, gloves. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to go into Home Depot. You don't have to go into Walmart. They will bring your stuff out to the car.
I get all that. I know some people, like myself, kind of look forward to going to the store just because it's just a little bit of getting out.
Normally, yes. I agree with you.
But I get it. But you're allowed to go to the store. I wear my mask. It's good mentally. Don't forget, too, there's a whole mental side of all this that some people are starting to suffer from. And some people need to get out of the house every now and then. And I understand. I get that.
Yeah.
I understand it.
I go a little stir crazy if I don't kick somebody's ass once a week.
Go to a Walmart.
Yeah. Apparently, Walmart's the place you need to be.
Yeah, I know.
I feel better because there's like 3 or 4 stories already in our chat room of people going out and people yelling at them and people getting all squirrely.
Yeah.
But I'm limiting human interaction. That's my not new. I've been doing it. But if I cannot have to deal with a person, I don't want to. But just because of that right there.
I mean, sometimes I'll go to my truck and I'll be shopping at Walmart or Publix, and I'm looking around. Oh, that's right. There's a pandemic. It's going to be a lot longer today, Bird.
You forget.
I forget.
I
really
know.
do.
When you're sitting in traffic and you're driving and you zone out, you forget there's a pandemic.
I have all this food, then I go, oh, this is going to be a while. It's going to be a while. Because at Walmart, if you have more than 10 items or maybe 20, they make you go to the real people.
The
you
real
can't
people?
self-checkout.
I like the real people way better than self-checkout.
Yeah.
Self-checkout, everyone's eyeballing you, judging you. Why aren't you going quicker? Oh my gosh, that guy doesn't know how to use the item gun thingy. Which I just learned how to do. It does make it easier.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. I know even with Home Depot, we had done some lawn stuff, and they just delivered the stuff to the house, the mulch.
Beautiful.
That's
and whatnot.
cool.
Yeah, it has express delivery on some items, not everything, right to your door for $8.99 in my neighborhood. But the stuff that I wanted, they couldn't get it there by this week.
Don't want to brag, but these shorts came in the mail from Old Navy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they came in yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah,
That
see,
is
so
nice.
it was nice to just not have to go into Old Navy and boom, it was right there.
What is that color?
That is a poop brown.
Mustard and baby poo.
I was going to say, I've cleaned that out of many a diaper.
I'm going for a new look.
Okay. What I got on my mind here today is I want to give a shout out to a great group that I support, and I do their celebrity kickball tournament every single year at Rogers Dean Stadium. Student Aces. They do some really amazing stuff. What the organization really is it's about finding young individuals that are in school and teaching them character and bringing them up the right way, and also helping them and finding kids, because if you've ever heard any of the stories or ever grown up in the inner city, there are some tough instances of kids who want to try to succeed, and gangs and other type of things around there are always trying to bring them in, pull them in the wrong direction. And Student Aces goes in there and gives them a path and helps to guide them in the right direction. And I got to tell you, the organizers of Student Aces is amazing. And they did a surprise graduation parade in Belglade the other day.
Aww.
With 15 to 20 vehicles driven by teachers and parents. Students had no idea. And just really some amazing stuff. They help mentor over 30,000 high school student athletes from Palm Beach and Broward and Miami-Dade counties going in there. Just knowing some of the personal stories that they have done. There have been some athletes that have gone on to play college and even more that have come through there. And they've had some guys that, you know, they were trying to do the athletic route and they had gangs that were shooting at them as they were trying to go home from school.
Oh, my gosh.
And so they would go and get them out of that house and even have them sleep on their couch personally so that they could get to school. And that's some of the stories. That's the truth of really what happens. I've heard some of their stories personally. It's really crazy. It's stuff that you can't even fathom. What they do, and to go in there and try to help them out is a big thing. You know, one of the stories that they've always told me that stood out was a kid that was excelling in football at Glade Central, and his cousin was kind of like running the local gang, and they were like, you need to get out of that football nonsense and join the gang. And University of Miami was coming to recruit him at Glade Central one day, and they jumped him and beat him up. And as the coaches from the University of Miami were walking in, he was coming out of the school on a gurney because they beat him up so badly. And
oh,
so
my God.
they went in and got him out. And that's what they do. I mean, that's the reality of the situation of it. And
did that guy end up going to Miami?
Student Aces stepped in and made a positive story out of it. But that's the kind of stuff where, you know, kids are in that kind of situation that they're trying to get out. And so, you know, kind of knowing some of those stories that happen out there. Out in the Glades, it has been such a fertile ground for athletes, and sports is a big way for a lot of those kids. It gives them hope. It gives them purpose. It gets them to college. It gets them just out of the muck.
Another path.
Yes, it really does. And so that's why, you know, I really love the football programs that they have out there. And if you've ever followed Glade Central and Pahokee and all the athletes that have come out of there, they have got a really cool series. It's an 8-part series going to be debuting tonight on Curiosity Stream. You can do just a quick web search for it and find it. And it centers on Glade Central and Pahokee, and it's a documentary called Fourth and Forever Muck City. And it chronicles the 2019 football season for both programs, and it leads up to the Muck Bowl, which is their season-ending showdown. And it talks about the historic programs. They have combined to win 12 state championships. The NFL players that have come out of those schools, like an Anquan Bolden, who still is, you know, speaking up and doing so much for Pahokee and that community and out there in the Glades, is really some amazing stuff. So if you love following those kind of stories, I want to give a shout out, something really cool for you to check out. Got celebrity birthdays today. I got to say what up to Miranda Cosgrove. Yesterday we had the girl who had done all the Disney movies. Now it's the girl who's done all the Nickelodeon shows.
Yes, I love Miranda Cosgrove. She's adorable.
She's 27 today.
Wow.
That's how old the other girl was yesterday.
The Rob Gronkowski, now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, is turning 31 years old today. It's amazing. I was reading yesterday how the odds shifted in Tampa Bay's favor for teams favored by Vegas to go to the Super Bowl. They were like last to first.
Really?
When they added Tom Brady and Gronk, and they say it may cause some betting problems with people that took that bet on Tampa Bay at those odds.
Is that
if they win the Super Bowl, Vegas could lose a ton of money.
Is a Brady and a Gronk enough to win the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I guess that's the experiment. We may find out if they play a season. That'd be the interesting thing, though, because Tom Brady's kind of running against time.
He is. Yeah, that's a good point. The Corones takes out his final season. But isn't he playing until like he's 60? Didn't he say something
I think
like
he's
that?
trying to dial in at least 2 more. So we'll see. Mark Zuckerberg is richer than you and probably younger than you. He's 36 today.
That's all he is.
That's all he is.
That's super annoying.
Right.
Oh, man.
He's 36. Kate Blanchett, 51 today. Danny Wood from New Kids is 51. And George Lucas turned 76 today. Also got a happy birthday going out to Angelina Juarez. Big happy 40th birthday from your wife, Erica, and our kids, Isabella, Cristiano, and Salvador. Also got to say happy 13th birthday, Brandon Ace. That is from Tiffany, Madrina, and Aiden. So there you go. Happy birthdays. Got a birthday you want to get on the KVJ Show, you just let us know about it. Mail at kvjshow.com, mail at kvjshow.com. Okay, what would you say is the best and worst thing about the South Florida town in which you live? Virginia, do you have a best worst for your lovely village of Tequesta?
The best thing about Tequesta, aside from the face-eating incident, is that it's very safe. Ugh, till that face-eating thing, that really rocked my world. But I think it was an isolated event, so I still believe Tequesta to be very safe.
Okay.
So to me, that's the best thing, safe place to raise kids. But I'd say the worst thing is, it shuts down at 8:30 p.m.
Oh, I gotcha.
You can't get nothing going if you try to go to any kind of bar or restaurant. You could pretty much shoot off a slingshot and not hit anybody.
It is annoying, too, for your friends who live nowhere near Orlando. You're pretty far up north.
It is very far.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything about your town, Jaybird, best, worst?
Oh, yeah, I sure do. The best, because I live in West Palm right now currently, the best part for me, I'm very close to work. If I forget something, I can be back within a commercial time. Worst, and I'm not trying to be mean, West Palm, but I think we can do better with our restaurants.
Oh, yeah?
I think we can have better variety, and I also think the chained restaurants here, not all of them, some of them, they're dialing it in a bit. There's certain places, for example, if you have a chain that's here in West Palm and then you have one in Palm Beach Gardens or in Jupiter or in Port St. Lucie or wherever, I feel like some of West Palm's chain restaurants have gone down in being clean, just service overall. I think we can do better with restaurants in West Palm Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any specifics?
I don't want to call anybody out specifically.
No, as far as like additions. We don't have to talk about negatives.
Yeah, I think some restaurants could do a better job of keeping their place clean looking.
Okay.
I think they can have they could do a better job with adding new items to their menu. I think, and we can also get different restaurants that we've never had down here that I would love.
Okay. All right. So you think they need more food options, but you love the convenience.
And I know that's a harsh critique. Mm-hmm. I get it.
Well, you're a man who's done the research, and you come with credibility.
I would say one of the best things, because I live in West Palm Beach, is that I like that you can get around relatively easy. And after spending time, if you've spent time in Miami and, Broward, and they're all lovely places as well, but that's just part of it that you have to. But that's just the way it goes. When you have more things to choose from, you're going to have more traffic. But it is when I was down, in Coconut Grove, it's really tough getting around Miami quickly. And so that is kind of annoying. So West Palm is nice that you can zip around more quickly. The one thing that I would say is the worst part, I would like to have more places where you can eat or get a drink with water views. Right before the whole pandemic had happened, they opened up the Bend, that restaurant on the top of it.
Yes.
Fruzzo's, that was really cool, great views. I'm like, this is it. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. But that was one place, and then, pandemic happens. And
it's a zoning issue, too.
As far as, like, buildings?
Yeah, buildings and, by the water.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody believes you when you say zoning. It just doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's just.
Why don't you stick to pizza?
All right. I thought zoning sounded good.
No, not coming out of you.
I don't know if that's true or not.
People are like, what?
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like,
did he just bring up zoning?
I was going to ask her, okay, what do you mean by that? But then
You
I realized
can't
that
just
you
skirt
didn't
over
really.
My answer would
that.
have been, I don't care. It just sounds good.
Yeah. Right.
You can't ignore that, Kevin.
It was a what?
Wait, what? Who
Yeah.
are you?
Here's some of the responses that we got on the KVJ Show Facebook page for some various towns. Somebody else put for West Palm Beach, best, worst. Best thing is Sunfest, which unfortunately a couple weeks ago was canceled and we didn't have it, but it is a really good music festival. And now with the Bright Line, I know, hanging out in Miami, I'd ask people, be like, hey, you ever heard of Sunfest? Like, no, they had no idea what it is. I'm like, honestly, when it comes around, you need to keep your eyes open, hop on the Bright Line, and get from Miami to Sunfest.
Amen.
It's worth it. It's really cool. It's a very good
And
music.
that's walkable, too.
It is once you get off the Bright Line. And I would put it, arguably, I think I've been at pretty much about every music festival in South Florida. It's arguably the best one
I would agree with that.
that we have, arguably. And I know Rolling Loud, and there's some other really good ones as well.
The
but
food is
yeah.
amazing. They always kill it with the variety. It's not just one genre. It's every genre.
Yeah.
And they get the proper zoning permits, so that's good.
Their zoning is right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say zoning again, you're going to disappear like Beetlejuice.
So, yeah, they said the best was Sunfest, worst snowbirds. Robert put that on our Facebook page.
Good point. Yeah, there was somebody driving that looked to be 130 in the left-hand lane on I-95 doing about 28 miles per hour.
Oh, Lord.
Just they were so low. The steering wheel looked so big. They were very old.
Yeah, but I think snowbirds might be kind of a all of South Florida issue. So I don't know if you can tag it to one town.
New York plates, too.
Yeah.
Nothing against New York.
Miami. Tiffany said the best thing are the people and the worst thing are the people. So that's Tiffany who's in Miami said best worst on Miami.
Good point.
Okay. About Davie. Best thing, everything is a short distance away. That's true. That is a very cool town for getting around.
I live there. I've lived there twice now.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a really cool thing about a little bit on Western Broward. That's why, too, like The Rock and some of the celebrities have gone Southwest Ranches and out west. Because just when you're east, further down south, it's so hard to get around.
Davie, the best thing about Davie, they did have a lot of restaurant variety. Worst thing about Davie, horrible traffic. It took you 30 minutes just to just to go to Publix.
Yeah. It has. They need better roads east-west other than 595. Airplanes are always flying over us when the Fort Lauderdale International Airport is fully open. That's Mark who put that. So that's the best worst on Davie.
Yeah, and it's a cowboy town, Virginia, so you just better mind your P's and Q's. It's very cowboy in Davie.
Really?
Yeah.
And you fit in great, I'm sure.
Who put a nickel in you today?
He's a cowboy, and he just found out what a steel horse means.
His horse is named Zoning.
Why don't you pipe down with your 98-year-old looking shawl?
This is comfy. You're just jealous.
Kimberly said the best worst about Stewart. Lovely small town with great beaches and a sandbar. The worst is the traffic. Interesting.
I like me some Stewart.
It's a very quaint town.
Got some good pizzas up there.
Port St. Lucie. Anna said the best is tradition and the beautiful wildlife. Worst is the loud, obnoxious trucks and tiny car gangs.
Ooh.
Okay. And Dave said for Indiantown, the best, it's far away from everything. The worst, it's far away from everything. Takes us 30 minutes to get to Publix. Indiantown's a cool little quaint town, though, on the way to Okeechobee. Some other additional comments. Port St. Lucie has crappy restaurants, nothing to make you go wow, like Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade. And somebody else texted in and said, yeah, I'm talking about Port St. Lucie here. When I moved up here from Broward 10 years ago, it was a nice little place to live, and now it's just turning into another Broward.
It is getting busy.
Yeah. That's
Lot
South
of
Florida
growth.
for you. Well, I mean, you look at Miami once upon a time. It was, a little bit more spread out. You didn't have all those tall buildings.
Northern Palm Beach County. Have you been to Palm Beach Gardens lately? They got skyscrapers there now.
Yeah.
It's getting. I mean, there used to be nothing there on A1A, and it went a good while where you could run into something. But now you got ale houses and you've got Publix and restaurants.
For Hollywood, the best, lots of choices for food and beer. Yeah, they do have some good places there. And worst is the traffic. Yeah, I think if you go anywhere from south of, I don't know, you can probably include Boca. Anything south of Boca, it's probably the worst part of it's going to be the traffic and trying to get around. So a couple more sidebar comments on the best and worst thing about different South Florida cities. Angie, about Boca Raton, said the best part of it is the location in between West Palm and Miami. And that's true. That is one of the really cool things. My daughter lives in Boca, and she loves it because, she'll go one night of the week, she'll be at the Ave in Del Rey, and then the next night, she'll be at the Cove and head south, and they'll do Fort Lauderdale a lot.
And you do, I think Boca's kind of like the main area for restaurants because you can go to Boca, go to Del Rey, go down to Lauderdale.
A lot of good choices.
It's a good area.
Yeah, that's maybe one of the best spots to be just because of the easy access you got to the towns around it. Jensen Beach. Best part about it, great small town with great restaurants. The worst, driving the roundabouts. So yeah, there are some towns. Some towns way overdo it with the roundabouts. I mean, by the time have you ever had that where you go through a neighborhood and it's just roundabout, you're like, oh, you feel like you're gonna throw up in your car.
Because some people really don't know how to use them right.
Yeah,
the merge thing, it's tricky.
Oh, if you know where Abacoa is at and you're not paying attention, you could be on that circle for a great while.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can. I always get so lost up there.
Oh, my gosh.
I do get turned about.
I used to live in there and I would get lost. Like, where is my place at?
You drive for 20 minutes and then you look around and you're going, I'm exactly where I started from.
Every time, man.
Yeah. About Hialeah, best thing, it's a pretty safe, nice area to raise a family. Worst part, I can't find anybody that speaks English. So there you go. There's the good and bad of pretty much all the South Florida towns, and more comments on the KVJ Show Facebook page. I hope you are ready to laugh, because here we go. Time for another round of Producer Dennys Joke Jury. We are the judges here to let them know what is funny and what is not. Okay, Dennys, if you're ready, take it away. Make us laugh.
All right, joke from number one for you guys. Why are roosters such good pickup artists?
I don't know, why are roosters such good pickup artists?
Because they know how to get chicks.
Yeah,
Get
right?
chicks.
Yeah.
I like Kevin's fake enthusiasm.
I like the guy on the side of the stage. Come on, everybody.
Yeah.
Come on, all right.
Let's hear it for the guy who's working hard.
Come on.
He's working hard.
All right,
This guy's brave, isn't he?
Come on, he's trying.
Take bravery to get up there.
Icebreaker.
I'm like the really supportive guy at open mic night.
The one friend that came.
Yeah, right.
in
Yeah.
support.
Okay.
Let's try this one out. Second joke for you guys. We have the murder hornets. What do you call an insect that attacks only wealthy white people?
I don't know. What do you call it?
Murder wasp.
See?
Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm in
Here
it.
we go. See, I told you it was coming.
Third joke for you guys. What did Fred Flintstone say when asked if one scoop was enough?
I don't know. What did he say?
Yeah, dabba-doo.
Oh, God.
Yeah, dabba-doo.
I'm not sure if he really even got the punchlines right.
Yeah, all right. He's doing good. Come on.
Hey, we're giving up to this guy, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying real hard up here.
Fourth joke for you guys.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let that one sit for a minute.
That one's rough. I will agree with you.
I feel like I'm at the comedy club and it's still light out.
I feel like I'm at the comedy club and I'm sober.
Well, these are the comedians they can book now.
I'm supposed to have a 6-drink minimum here, guys. Fourth joke for you guys. What are skeptics calling the disappearance of service vehicles?
I don't know. What are they calling it?
A vandemic?
Right? A pandemic.
You don't hear a lot of that kind of comedy.
No.
Probably for good reason. And final joke. What did the prison guard do when Jeffrey Epstein tried to give him a high five?
I don't know. What did he do?
He left him hanging.
Oh!
Now that is a joke.
That is some good stuff.
Okay.
Dang. Woo!
Finishing strong.
Yeah, dabble-do.
Well, if you have been doing some impulse buying here, don't feel so bad, because apparently they say the amount the average U.S. citizen is spending on impulse purchases has increased 18% from January to the end of April, going from $155 a month to $183. So, a lot of people are stressed out. Everybody's kind of got their own little triggers and methods for release, and buying something you don't need is apparently one of those triggers for a lot of people. Not to mention, too, I bet a lot of people have cut down expenses in other areas. They say that a lot of credit is starting to disappear from people's, the debt that people have on their credit cards is starting to dwindle a little bit because people are paying off some of those fees because they've cut down some of the usual spending they would do.
Yeah, like clothes, makeup,
Yeah.
going out to eat, that kind of stuff, drinking, $100, $200 bar tabs. Like, yeah, none of that exists. But I'm making it up in home improvement spending.
Yeah.
You can spend it if you. There's ways to spend your money.
Yeah.
Biggest impulse purchases other than, just practical household items, which are boring. Clothes was number one on this list, 22%.
I just bought 2 pleather jackets for some reason.
Pleather.
Pleather. Those should
Just in time for summer?
Those will hold up great in hurricane season. It's going to be hot and rainy.
I don't do it right, do I?
It's questionable.
Yeah. No, I saw that movie, the Leonardo Brad Pitt one, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and I love the way Leonardo DiCaprio dresses in that. He's got that old, like 1970s jacket. That's what I tried to get that. I bought a bunch of turtlenecks.
Oh,
really?
no. Just in
Okay.
time for summer.
It's not smart.
Clothes number one, video games 2, books, and then headphones alone is at 18%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. 72% of the people said, when I do it, just makes me feel better.
Life's short, y'all.
Yeah, I kind of get it. But imagine if that is your release, buying, and you live with somebody that is usually tight on money. Imagine how they are right now, especially if somebody's been laid off in the family. And
Oh, forget about it.
yeah, you're dealing with stuff. How do you handle stuff like that? Joyce, I think, has got a similar situation here. Now, your husband is not real happy with you, Joyce. Apparently, you made an impulse buy and he found out about it.
Yeah, he's like not speaking to me much.
Wow. Okay. What exactly happened?
Yeah. Well, okay. So he found out that I made a really expensive purchase. When he came home from work, there was an Amazon box that was just laying out.
Okay.
So, I purchased a really expensive pair of wedges for the summer, and okay, here's my side. I've been at home with the kids, like taking care of the house all day, every day. It's just a lot, and I decided I needed a reward. And he just comes home, he sees the box, and he loses it.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this about your finances. What is going on financially in your family right now? Is everything good as it was before the pandemic, or have you had some more financial stresses in the family?
We are stressed. I got, furloughed and money is tight. And, he's the only one with the job. And he's saying that I made a selfish purchase. But, I need to reward myself. I'm at home with the kids all day, taking care of everything.
Yeah.
I needed this.
Okay, but is he making any purchases that are questionable?
Yeah. He bought, video games that are, equally expensive.
Now, he's mad because you don't have the job and he has the job, and he felt like you shouldn't have purchased the wedges that you got.
Exactly. That's ridiculous.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I think it depends upon what your finances are like. Virginia, in your family, if Panda were going off, if he bought something right now that you thought was questionable, would you be mad at him?
No, because we keep our finances separate.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I've seen too many couples get divorced and break up because of finances.
His money is his money, and he can do whatever he wants with it. He has household bills that he has to pay. After he pays those household bills, and as long as, my cell phone's not getting cut off, because that's his responsibility.
Yeah.
His money is his money, and I don't want to be involved in that. I ain't your mama.
If everyone's healthy and happy and you have plenty of money for your bills and then you have some left over to buy what you want on your own, that's up to you, I think.
My question, if you had an arrangement like what you have, and your play money's your play money, and your partner gets furloughed or they don't have an income coming in, would you give them an allowance or would you give them added play money?
Yes,
Okay.
I would.
Would you give yourself more play money than they would get?
No, I think it should be fair, and I think both people should equally get the same amount of play money, even if you have different incomes.
Okay.
in a time like this, if he's buying the video games that are $50, she should be able to get a pair of shoes that's $50. So everybody feels like, okay, we're all doing good, we're all cool. He can't be the only one getting stuff, and she just has to sit there and wish that she was able to get stuff. That ain't cool.
I'm not gonna lie, it's calls like this that I'm very happy I'm going through this alone. I'm not even kidding you.
Well, I think you avoid.
Chewy ain't calling in.
Yeah, and I think you avoid calls like this if you do what Virginia does. I mean, there is a lot of value to the way that she handles that, because nobody's going to be fighting over money. Be like, all right, well, if you want to spend something dumb on wedges, fine. If I want to buy video games, in a sense, when you don't get somebody else's passion, it would appear dumb to you. A guy in Jay Bird's position buying 2 pleather jackets
and
or
a
maybe
squirrel
a squirrel costume.
The squirrel's costumes for work.
Sure.
Write that off at the end of the year.
But a person who doesn't fully get you, they may be like, I mean, in these times, do we need these items?
But nobody has the right to tell you that you can't get a squirrel costume or pleather jackets. Bad decision as it may be, because it is your money and you deserve to do what makes you happy. And I think that's the problem. You've got a lot of people now all on top of each other, quarantined together, now telling you can't spend money on what you want to spend it on.
That's not living, baby.
It is not living, and it's not right.
Virginia, what would you say is the stupidest money you spent recently? Something that it would be the hardest to justify.
Oh, let's see.
Let me put it under a microscope.
Is it that sweater you're wearing?
Oh,
people clothes.
This was a Christmas gift from my daughter. Don't you feel a little like a turd?
No, I still feel pretty good.
I hope Mags is listening.
I'm still standing by my statement.
I'm sorry, Magnolia. He's rude.
I would say my biggest questionable purchase is I've got this app, and if you are on the app every single day, they keep a streak going, and I forgot, and I didn't get on the app one day, and I paid $14 to repair my streak so I could keep going. And I'm like, well, who cares?
That's dumb.
That is really dumb.
Oh my God.
I know. That's really dumb, isn't it?
No, I'll tell you what.
I had a 150-day streak going, and I was so crushed that I forgot to get on the app, and so I paid $14 to keep it going.
I would never. Oh my gosh, I don't understand that. But hey, it's your money.
Yeah.
Equally as terrible, my video game baseball guy that I made, Jason Pennington, that plays third base for the Braves, he needed some more power, and I'm like, I don't have enough coins. I have $50 worth of coins so I can get him more powerful. I said $50 to make my player bigger in a video game.
I love it.
What the hell's wrong with me?
I love it. I love it. That's good stuff. Impulse buys are up in America. People are doing it because they need a little injection of feeling good. Gets those positive endorphins going, and we need a little bit of that here in this era right now. Talked to somebody who had a little bit of a fight going on because they purchased wedges and their husband saw the Amazon box and got all upset, but he was buying video games. He thinks that she shouldn't be buying expensive things because she's been furloughed. They apparently share their finances, and he's holding it over that he still has a job and she's been furloughed, which isn't good, and it's the start of relationship problems. Number one reason that marriages bust up in America, Virginia, is because of
money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's part of the problems. Talking about the stupidest money, though, you spent recently, and I think that you should allow some things as you're saving other ways. You should do some things that make you feel good. Some things are hard to justify, though, when you say them out loud. I spent $14 to repair my streak.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's hard to justify when you say out loud.
Does your wife know you spent that?
No, she doesn't, and she would, she would... I'm sure I would hear it and be like, that's so dumb. Why'd you do? But, for me, if you guys know how my mind works.
Yes, I do. Everything has to be in its order, in its place.
Yes.
And you can't focus sometimes on other things that are more important if that's nagging.
If something's broken, yes.
Yes.
And that's why it's tough for me. Trust me, I hate it. I don't like, I've been this way since I was a child, and there's no way you can break it.
I've annoyed myself forever.
Yeah, I've been me. I don't get it. It's maybe one of the worst quirks that I have, but yeah, I'm like, I have to repair that streak.
I have so many of them. Don't feel bad.
Okay, that's
quirks.
Yeah. You picked a good room to come hang out in.
Yeah, somebody said, you talked about how you spent $50 to get your guy bigger in a baseball game. Those video games when you say it out loud, sometimes the expenditures you make on those are the hardest to justify, or they sound the silliest.
Yeah, I made my video game guy stronger. But with that said, he won MVP.
Well, even worse than that, somebody's talking about all the money they spent on costumes
Oh, Kevin.
for their video game character.
Oh, gosh. I spent costume just in real life.
Yeah. Somebody else texted in and said, yeah, money on June's Journey on Apple. I spent $150 to keep playing. Yeah, they'll get you. I get it. But, you know, hey, you really need to have, I think, right now, some mindless things that when you say it out loud, yeah, it's kind of hard to just be like, that sounds dumb. Good for you.
The way I look at it is, okay, I spent $50 making my video game guy bigger. It wasn't $50 worth of heroin. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it made me happy.
It did.
And it passed the time, and it gave me something to take my mind off of the corona.
Got to the World Series. It's good.
Mm-hmm. Somebody else said I bought Metallica sheets for my bed for $150.
Metallica?
I can only imagine how soothing that is.
What?
That's amazing.
They make those?
To go to bed on the Kill 'Em All sheets. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they said too. Yeah, people are doing with these stimulus checks. Yeah, absolutely, that's it. But hey, if you got the money, go on ahead and do it. In fact, they say that's part of the problems. I've heard some stories where people are like going, I don't really want to go back to work because I'm making more money now. The stimulus thing is great.
Well, the stimulus and then the unemployment too. I know some people are not doing very bad with the unemployment if you've got your check.
My daughter wants it to never end.
A lot of people have not gotten their check yet, and I know they're waiting and waiting, and they applied weeks and weeks ago. But yeah, it's a crazy, weird world we live in.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said, yeah, my wife plays some of those games you're talking about, and she spent $380 in a week doing it. Yeah.
But think about this. On your deathbed, are you going to be like, oh, I can't believe I spent $16 on that? Whatever you spent. You're not.
You're not going to care. It's not going to matter.
It's not.
And it gave you a little happiness in the moment. So you got to allow yourself a little happiness in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't go walk and get hit by a bus today.
Hopefully not, but yeah.
I mean, in a positive way. I was trying to be positive. It really sounded terrible.
If Kevin gets hit by a bus, you're going to feel bad.
I would feel horrible.
I'll try to stay away from buses.
Please.
Yes, don't go by any front of bus.
Mm-hmm. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, we're going to get to our KVJ Confessionals here today. If you have anything that you would like to confess, you can do it anonymously. Something you've done. Maybe you feel devilishly pleased with yourself and what you did. You can text those to us as well. Maybe you do actually feel real guilt. You can confess those things as well. And to kind of get us into the mindset of confessing things, Virginia, you have been doing something that is annoying Jay Bird. And he wants to confess to you what it is.
I forgot I said that.
Oh, yes. Jay Bird is going to reveal your latest annoyance coming up next.
Want to say thanks to a healthcare worker, doctor, or other frontline worker? Just download the WRMF app and check out the mic drop feature to send us your shout out to play on the KBJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.
Well, it's time for KVJ Confessional to open. With the pandemic right now, you cannot go into your usual confessional, so you can do it right here, virtually, digitally, over the radio. Just text us your confession, and we'll get it out here. It could be anonymous or not. I don't care. Tag a name to it. Doesn't matter to me. 877-979-WRMF. We'll get to some of yours here in a second, but first, Jay Bird gets us in the mode of confession by confessing something that Virginia has been doing that has been annoying him.
Hold on. You've got a string hanging off your hat that's annoying me.
Okay.
It's been there for like 30 minutes.
She's gearing up for
I know. I should never have brought this up. I don't know if you've noticed it, Kev. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you do this thing, and you don't realize you're doing it, but you're either like licking your lips or doing something with your mouth, and you're going into the microphone, and I'll be over here, and I'll be like listening to Kevin talk, and there'll be like a little empty space, and I go, "What is that sound?" And I look over, and you're doing this weird thing with your mouth into the microphone. And I had even listeners text me going, "What's Virginia doing with her mouth?"
I didn't even notice.
I know.
So you have a new licky habit?
It's something's good. Like you're either not paying attention or something's going on with your mouth. You're, but I can hear it oh so faintly. I go, what is going on? Why are there worms crawling? And then I go, oh, it's Virginia's mouth. It sounds like worms crawling over each other.
Oh, maybe I'm like, I have a new tick because of Corona.
Oh, no.
I noticed it before Corona.
You did.
It's not often. It's not often, but it has been often lately.
Okay.
Okay.
Fascinating.
Now I have a new complex. Okay.
I didn't mean for.
I'll add that to the list.
We need content, bro. I'm sorry.
New thing to worry about, Virginia.
All right.
Thanks. Does anyone else notice it other than the two lists? I had two people text me because I had heard it and then I got text messages like, so who's the one, doing that thing in the microphone? And I knew the answer already 'cause I looked over.
Yeah, other people were saying, a couple texts said, yeah, I hear it too. It gets so annoying. And I've seen V do this on KVJ TV.
I had no idea.
I know.
Well, I'm glad y'all told me. I mean, you should have told me when it started.
I didn't think it was an issue. And then the other day, it was really it was really bad. I think on Monday, it was bad. And Kevin I was looking at Kevin. He didn't notice.
I can't see Virginia though because the screen blocks my view of her.
It's the sound. That's what I can't believe you don't notice. It's like anytime there was a little empty space of silence. I'm like, ooh.
This person said it's V chewing on the side of her mouth. She's pushing in her cheek and then chewing on it.
I am doing that
That
a
might be
lot.
it. That might be it.
So that is a nervous tick that I have definitely. The inside of my mouth, I just nonstop am like annihilating it, and it looks awful.
It sounds worse.
All right. Well, I'm sorry.
No,
You should have told me weeks ago.
Well, I was working on prep for the show. I'm thinking, this would be a good idea to send to Kevin.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into a fight because it's not that big of a deal.
It's not going to be a fight. I'm just sad.
No, now I feel terrible.
I'm sad. And I make gross noises.
Don't turn this around. Oh, no.
I'm not mad. I'm hurt.
Well, hurt people.
I'm
hurt
just
people.
crushed. She's so crushed.
I mean, I privately, you've been mocking me with others. It cuts.
I never mocked you. No,
Every time you walk out of the studio, you all go, oh, guess who just left?
Big mouth Billy Bass.
Yeah. Old Chomps over here.
Slurps over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I got a lot of annoying ticks, too. I'm sure.
I can't think of a one.
Oh, get out of here.
Perfect.
Stop
So
it.
perfect.
See, this is one of those moments
I
where
mean, during these times, I feel like you've shown.
I thought this was going to be a fun segment, and now I just feel the Italian guilt hurt. I feel it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
There are some other confessions that are coming in here. Get honest with us. Send in your text, 877-979-WRMF. Ooh, this text says, my confession, I now judge people based on whether they will survive the coronavirus, particularly the old guys walking their dogs in the park. It's a case of, okay, goner. Okay, definitely goner. Ooh, that's dark. Ouch. That's his confession, and that's what he's doing with his time.
Interesting.
That is his people watching.
If you're playing by yourself and not,
Just don't tell them.
Yeah, don't text them to do a radio show, you weirdo.
Well, it would be tough if you're that old guy walking by and you hear goner. Wait, what?
Good as dead.
Wait, what did he just? Did he just say goner?
Then the next guy, that's a real goner.
Yeah. What did you just say?
It's dark, but I mean, you can play it
These
privately.
are dark times.
Yeah,
I
these
get-
are dark times.
I get the game.
These are dark times.
Your friends turn on you for just being a
Jeez.
nervous chewer.
Gosh, people are being honest today.
People don't want honesty. Clearly, they don't want honesty, Kevin.
Somebody else texted and said, a girl I know on Facebook posted a pic, and I replied, cute selfie. But it turns out I didn't read the caption. It was actually a picture of a missing girl that she was sharing.
Oh. That's tone deaf.
That's amazing. You probably read that kind of like, what? She's missing. Nice selfie.
Oh, man, that's tough. Gosh, that's tough. Yeah. Yeah, it's why you just can't fly through social media anymore.
You got to be careful with
Yeah.
social media. There was one time
Yeah.
I was trying to post on somebody. They had something funny, and I put, "That's hilarious," but I put it on the wrong comment, and the person that I put it on just announced that their grandma died.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Okay, all right. Some more lighthearted confessions here. Somebody said, I broke up with a girl that I've been seeing because every time we kissed, her mouth tasted like tomato soup, even if she hadn't eaten any, and it freaked me out. That's kind of weird.
That is weird. There's something going on. If it's like
Yeah.
acidy
Like some of all their
Yes.
gums or teeth or something.
or stomach.
When I was 16, I wrote the names of 10 hot girls I knew on paper, and I kept them in a can. Then I'd pick one out each night and use it for my spank bag. Well, there you go.
Wow.
Signed, Young Jaybird.
Oh, people are calling me and Kevin out for our annoying habits on the air now, Virginia. Don't feel bad. Kevin sniffs too much in the microphone, and I laugh too hard into the microphone.
Somebody else confessed here. I love bidding people up on eBay. I have no intention of buying the stuff. I just get a kick out of watching them pay more. Oh, today I'm the highest bidder on over 50 items.
Oh, boy.
Why?
Dang.
I don't like you.
That's just a person who wants to see the world burn.
I don't like you.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous game, too. What if nobody outbids you?
You're just there's ways you don't have to pay it either. There ain't no eBay police out there. There's ways to get out of it.
Dang, that's kind of dark.
That's worse than the Corona game.
Yeah, way worse.
Well, because we go on eBay, and I do those bidding sometimes.
And this one's just odd. Their confession here says, I send the woman who sits next to me at work a birthday and Christmas card to her home address every single year using a made-up family. It's driving her nuts trying to figure out who Jackie, Martin, and Oliver are.
Made-up family.
Who are these people? I don't even know a Jackie, Martin, and Oliver.
That's amazing.
Who are these people doing these things?
Very odd, some of the confessions that we have going on here today.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news.
Yeah, what?
So many people on meth.
Ow!
Got an update on your favorite 5-year-old boy from Utah, Jaybird. This is the one that took the family's car out to go buy a Lamborghini. The cops pulled him over.
He hates this story.
I hate this story. I don't like when little kids get rewarded for doing bad crap.
If you missed the original story, it's about this 5-year-old kid in Utah, and apparently what had happened was he took out the family's car and got pulled over doing 32 miles an hour. What had happened was the 5-year-old had told his mom that he wanted a Lamborghini, and she said, I'm not going to buy you a Lamborghini. So he took $3, all he had, put in his pocket, and then stole the family's car, their SUV, drove out at 32 miles an hour. He gets pulled over by the cops, and now it's become the most adorable thing ever. The neighbor down the street let him ride in his Lamborghini.
Hate it.
I saw a picture of this kid because I was like, 5? How the hell did this kid pull it off? He's a big 5. He looks 7.
Oh, so he's that justifies him allowed to drive?
No, I'm just saying. I'm looking at Rocco, who is about to be 5 in a matter of weeks, and I'm like, Rocco couldn't even pull this maneuver off. But the kid is a little bit more of a bigger kid.
Yeah.
He looks more like he's 7 than 5, and so I was like, okay, maybe. To get out of your house and be on a main road doing 35 miles an hour?
It's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
The story doesn't bother me.
Sure.
Kids are going to do stupid things. I get that. It's the adults that annoy me.
Yeah.
Let's reward the kid.
Well, the punishment tour continues. The kid and his family were flown to Los Angeles, where they met up with Jamie Foxx and Shaquille O'Neal. The boy was able to rev the engines of a Ferrari, a Hummer, and several other brand cars. Then he was given some shoes from Shaq and surprised with a FaceTime session with Lil Pump. So
I think think I'm aging out of Earth, man.
Jay Bird is going to put his fist through a wall.
I mean, because someone got on me yesterday. Goes, Bird, you're getting mad about something so stupid. I'm not really mad.
Yeah.
Look, there's the kid. I'm sorry, that kid does not look 5.
Oh,
Yeah, he's literally in a Lamborghini.
That's one of those annoying stories. I saw it happen at the baseball camp that I worked at.
Well,
Parents rewarding terrible behavior.
A lesson to all 5-year-olds: steal your parents' SUV. Good things will come.
Gosh, okay. Gosh, I feel like a cat that just jumped in water.
Some sad news for those teen drivers in Georgia that thought that they were going to be able to just get their parents' permission and get their driver's license. Well, apparently the governor's reversed himself and he superseded his previous order saying that it was okay to upgrade their permits into licenses without taking the road test. Now, apparently, they have to take the road test.
Yeah, somebody got to him and said, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, so unfortunately.
That was a bad idea.
Fascinating story here. Apparently, 8 hazard reports just released under the Freedom of Information Act detail bizarre encounters that U.S. Navy pilots have had with unidentified flying objects off the east coast of the United States. The first 7 all happened in 2013 and 2014, but the final encounter wasn't reported until 2019. They included a near midair collision with a balloon-like object and a sighting of a suitcase-sized aircraft. This all comes after the Pentagon officially released those 3 videos taken by U.S. Navy pilots showing midair encounters with what appear to be UFOs.
There are so many stories from the 50s on of pilots seeing stuff where they're face to face with an object. They have no idea what it is. Their instruments start to go out while this thing's right in front of them. What the hell is that, Virginia?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Crazy
Did we give
stuff.
him a breathalyzer?
Oh, yeah, the pilots in the military, I'm sure they're hammered. Y'all, we've been visited by aliens. You're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to come to grips with it.
Couple fascinating Corona-themed stories here. A restaurant in Washington, D.C. is reopening with social distancing and has dressed up mannequins to sit in the rest of the seats. So it looks like you're in a full restaurant.
It's kind of creepy.
That's creepy / brilliant.
Yes, I love it.
It keeps people from sitting in those seats, but yeah, it makes the place look jumping.
I like it. I think it's cool.
Safe.
And I got to tell you, where I'm from, Ohio, fairs are a big deal. County fairs, the state fair, big deal. And in Stark County, they realize that they're not going to likely be able to have the county fair, so they're going to be doing a fair food drive-through where people can drive their cars onto the fairgrounds and get foods from different vendors like deep-fried Oreos and steak on a stick.
I love it. And I think you'd probably get better quality of food doing it that way. You're probably not going to have as many people. You're probably changing your oil out more than normal. Because, you know, by like day 8 of the fair, your scones taste like kind of like corn dogs as well.
Yeah. There's a company that's kind of creative and making some money. They're selling fake boobs and fake muscles for people who want to look better on their Zoom dates.
Oh, man, this needs to be over with, this pandemic. People are losing their damn minds.
It is crazy. They say the pandemic also may change toilets forever, since a flush can conceivably shoot tons of droplets of corona-infected poo water in the air. You could start seeing things like lids on public toilets, no-touch flushing, and more spacing between bathroom stalls.
Okay, I'm a fan of everything you just named.
Right?
No touch, lids that close automatically.
It really is one of the worst, gnarliest things to think about. You're going to the bath and then you're touching that little knob that everyone else has.
You're right.
That's disgusting.
No touch is the way, baby.
Yeah, it is pretty gnarly. Well, there's something else to worry about here in Florida. Now, we're not going to get the murder hornets, but we may get the Argentine tegu lizard. They say it's spreading through several southern states, including Florida.
What does he do?
Well, for us, not bad. He just feasts on the eggs of ground-nesting birds and other reptiles like the alligator and the endangered gopher tortoise.
I also heard that he tries to bite entertainment reporters.
Ooh. That could be tricky, huh? They say the black and white lizards can grow up to 4.5 feet long.
Oh, hell no.
Wow.
And if they come by your crib, you will watch them mate.
Yeah, I probably would.
He's excited, actually.
He's like, yeah.
All right, new form of lizard.
Yeah.
Somebody give them some wine.
I need some variety.
I don't know if you saw a couple interesting animal videos yesterday. Did you see the herd of nearly 200 goats that made their escape and broke loose?
Yes.
And they flooded through the San Jose streets.
They called it the running of the goats.
Yeah.
Does that keep happening? Did something like that happen a couple weeks ago as well? I thought a herd of animals broke through a town.
Yeah, there was in Wales, goats.
Huh.
They got through, yeah. And did you see in India that leopard that was just running through that town attacking people?
Oh my
It was
God.
unreal.
There's video of it?
I got to show it to you. It's unreal. Yeah, in fact, I'll retweet it if you follow us on Twitter.
Did he take anybody out?
What he was doing, he would just like jump and attack on somebody, a couple bites, nibbles, tugs, and then he'd take spring onto somebody else. The whole town is running like crazy.
Is he a pet?
I don't think so. And they're trying to catch it with nets and everything. And
So he tackles you just to kind of lightly gnaw on you?
yeah, and then just keeps going. He's just terrorizing the entire town. And it's almost like the leopard knows it and loves it.
Wow. Man, the world would change if we had a legit leopard problem. Like if leopards were like the rain.
I wonder if he was in captivity and then he just finally got pissed.
That's what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
I'll
Or if
see if I
he's
can-
like from the wild and he just like snapped.
If he's from the wild, I feel like he'd bite full gorilla, right?
Yeah.
I'll look for a backstory on that. And check this out. There's a Facebook group where people pretend to be ants. They act like ants, they take orders from a queen, and they also discuss ant-related subjects like food on the ground and Paul Rudd in Ant-Man. For example, to let you know what they do, the queen recently posted an order to dig, and more than 13,000 people responded in the comments, dig, 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 dig. In another post, somebody put a picture of ice cream and wrote, quote, found snack, need help eating. It got 3,100 responses of people just saying, lick, yum, 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 munch, 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 munch.
Oh, man.
People are so bored, but that's funny.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
And listen to this. They say that since March, the group has gone from 100,000 members to more than 1.8 million.
Good for them.
That's amazing.
Have you been dying to be an ant? There's your chance on Facebook.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
Okay, I got an idea for a new game that I just had an idea for early this morning. My wife had got me one of those healthy shots that's supposed to boost up your immune system.
Okay.
And I don't remember all it had in it, but it was like it's like some kind of like vinegar and turmeric and ginger and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, me, I'm all about keeping the immune system revving.
Sure.
So-
It's how you protect yourself. If your immunes are up, you fight off illnesses.
So I will drink pretty much anything or put anything into my body that I believe is going to make me a healthier individual.
Anything?
Yeah, well, almost anything. If I put that word there, you're right. And I took this shot, and I was like, whoa, I mean, my whole face just almost felt like it was caving in itself. It was really rough. And I was like, boy, if I tried hard, could I actually drink this shot without making a face? Like, could I just make it look like it was normal liquid?
There's some things out there, it's tough to not make a face. It's a physical reaction. It's like when someone punches you, you're going to,
Flinch. Yeah, you can't help it.
I just don't know. Do you have that kind of like, I don't know what it would take. Is it focus? Is it intensity?
Discipline.
Is it discipline?
Does Botox help? Because if it does, I have an advantage.
Yeah, your face is just frozen.
Although it is wearing off a little bit. I am 3 months removed, and it's time.
Wait, Tom, you look dynamite.
So the name of the game from that I came up with, it's called You Can't Make a Face.
Okay.
So what we are going to do here is we're going to strap each person here on the show with the shock collar. You are going to be doing a shot of something that is close to what I did today. It's this apple cider vinegar that my wife is doing. She's on this whole diet thing, and it's big on TikTok right now.
It's supposed to shrink your stomach and like make you not hungry. I don't know if all that is true,
Yeah, because you
but
probably throw up after you drink it.
a lot of people drink it and say that it keeps them from like eating.
Yeah, 'cause
Denny's
you're sick.
Watch Denny's just smell it if you can get his face. Just take a solid whiff of that. I mean, it's you've made a face because of it, and that would count as a shock.
Oh, God.
Yes, that's a face.
I drank that a long time ago. This stuff is gnarly.
So this is going to be the name of the game. Everybody gets to play.
Oh, no.
We're going to put the shot collar on you, and you have to knock down a shot of the apple cider vinegar. Yeah, like half a shot's probably good because it doesn't take much. And if you make any kind of face whatsoever, you have to make the same kind of face if you're doing a shot of water. See what I'm saying?
Oh, I might make a bigger face on that one. Water. Ugh.
No, it's true.
He hates water.
We actually could have played with water. Why did I even bring this in?
For me, anyway. Look, Kevin, what is this? It's water.
We'd have been fine with just water.
He's heaving.
Yeah, okay, so that is it. So we'll have the shot collar on. We'll all get to try it. Can you do it while the camera right up on our face?
Do you think everyone's going to nail this?
My question is, no, not everybody. And my question is, can one person nail it? Can one person do this without making a face? Ugh. I don't know if it's possible.
Oh, come on, meditate, bird.
Oh, it does smell, y'all.
I just
said. It smells like feet and pain.
This is the exact way my canal looks by my house. This canal water.
The entire studio stinks terribly right now.
Oh, man.
It smelled good before this bit.
It smells like we're making Easter eggs in here.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. You can strap that on me here, Dennys. I will give this a shot first.
So are we the council? Do we judge if you make a face or not?
I was thinking about that. We could. You may get home cooking. People may say it's rigged one way or the other. That maybe what we ought to do is go to the chat room that we have on YouTube, and we'll take the first 3 comments.
The first 3 comments? If you get like a Metal Beard Dan, he's gonna troll. Go, oh, you made a face.
Yeah, that's true. You'll have no. Yeah,
gotta be honest.
Kevin, you don't know Metal Beard Dan.
Yeah.
Okay, it has to be no flinch whatsoever. You know what? I'm gonna let. I'm going to let Dennys run this. Dennys will be the sole judge and jury.
He's the most fair.
He's our Pontius Pilate.
Yeah.
And
is he doing it too?
Yeah, he will. And then we'll find somebody to judge him. Maybe we'll let Jay Bird.
I'll be honest with you, dog.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough.
Okay. The name of the game is You Can't Make a Face. Okay, so everybody, look here into the camera when it's your turn.
Oh my gosh, we're going to turn to stone if we keep looking at his eyes.
That's just it. See, that's my strategy. Everybody will have to look away, and then I can make my face and be like, I don't know, did you make a face? I don't know.
Look at him, but don't look at him too long.
Yeah, I feel like it's, this is meditation, right? It
is. Mind over matter.
Because this is going to be a tough double whammy here, because Dennys, as soon as you see a facial reaction, you can hit with the shot collar. So this is going to be boom, boom.
Okay.
Okay, so it'll be bam, bam.
Oh my gosh, what a terrible 10 seconds.
It is. I'm trying to get myself mentally prepared. I want to get into a zone here. I want to
go within.
I don't even want to think about it because I don't want to get myself all, ginned up. I just want to be like, okay.
You got to be everything that radio asks you to not do. Like, you have to be like...
Oh, the witch is shook.
Animated, but not...
You are shook.
I can't. My brain doesn't work this
Kev,
good.
you know what? You're doing, you're trying a new little craft beer from Oklahoma. It's that new Oklahoma craft beer.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I love Oklahoma craft beer. Yeah.
He didn't make a face.
Yeah, he did not.
He didn't make a face. He kind of had a murderous looking.
That's what he looks like after he kills.
Yes. I mean, by all rules, though, he did not make a face.
No.
He did real good.
He's making a face now.
Yeah, how? Oh, my God. Oh,
he might vomit.
I spilled mine.
Oh.
Of course you did.
Oh, you dummy. Why didn't we give you a sippy cup? Dennys, clean up. Kevin's going to throw up. You're spilling.
I know.
It's a disaster.
Turned into complete mayhem.
Mayhem?
Mayhem.
Is that better than April ham?
I don't feel good.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I did this a long time ago. It doesn't make you feel good for a while.
It will mess with your tongue.
If you feel sick, that means it's working.
Okay. Oh, that stuff is terrible.
Oh, you have a sponge from the bit the other day.
Look how clutch this sponge came in.
Yeah, we probably just keep those handy. Okay. Virginia.
All right.
You can't make a face. Apple cider vinegar. You got to do a shot, and it has to look. You cannot flinch.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put it on, Denny's. I got a short skirt on today. Feels wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Can we all do it without making a face?
You're the most disciplined man I've ever met, and it's your game. And you had a bad shot yesterday. You're very prepared for this.
Okay, yeah.
You're the best we've got.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Virginia not making a face? Come on, there's no way. There's no way.
I don't know. I think Virginia could do it.
She does eat a lot of gross things.
She does. I think this is almost like in her wheelhouse. She might be used to it.
And half my face already don't move.
I feel like you're kind of trying to get into the zone right now.
I am. I'm trying to just calm down.
You do, yeah.
Like Kevin was doing. Just
Don't think about the taste.
Just chill.
You almost like when you can't. If you gin yourself up for it, there's no chance you're going to do it.
Don't think about the stomach ache that's going to follow.
About 10 seconds in, you will feel like it's coming back up.
And just try to ignore the smell of the spilling.
If it comes back up, it's going on the bird.
You ain't got the nards. Bring it.
Okay.
Bring it.
Name of the game, you can't make a face. Virginia strapped with the shot collar. She's doing a shot of apple cider vinegar. If she makes any kind of face whatsoever from this vinegar, Dennys is going to hit her with the shot collar.
Got it.
Okay. All right, Virginia, you can go whenever you're ready. Make sure, is she looking right into the camera, Suits? We got her?
You want the camera or you want me to look at Denny's?
You can look in the camera. I can
yeah.
Okay.
gauge it.
Dennys is capable of doing this. Yeah, we want a good shot of the camera. Don't let the mic block your face.
I mean, the wish is falling apart.
Yeah, she is. Look at her. I just love that she's so nervous and shook. Even if nobody does this, it's just worth it just to make Virginia this uncomfortable.
I hate the shot collar.
Oh, yeah, I know you do.
It gets in my bone.
Yeah, it does. And imagine how terrible it's going to be having a shock followed up by an awful shot of apple cider vinegar.
Terrible.
Just don't make a face. Just don't judge it.
Okay.
Oh, so
Kevin!
sorry. I am so sorry.
She is rude.
Oh, my gosh. I'm so sorry.
We probably have to go to a replay after this.
Oh, my gosh.
Kevin.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
Never.
I don't know what happened. My body's not
Who
reacting.
are you?
I don't know. My body's
You turned into an animal.
My body's not reacting.
It is. Your body's falling apart over there.
I'm really handling it. This is tough. The after effects are rough.
Don't think about Kevin and his discomfort.
If I'm still laughing at Kevin, does that count?
Okay, Virginia, shake it off here. You can't make a face. You're doing a shot of apple cider vinegar with the shot collar on you.
All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
I mean, she didn't make a face.
Is it the pure just will of the athlete, or is it Botox?
You'll never know.
I think she passes.
Yeah, she does pass.
Well done. You
passes.
did better than
Yeah.
Kevin.
Thank
She
God.
did.
That was impressive.
Well, what it was, it's the fear of the shot collar.
Exactly.
That overrode the bitterness of the shot itself. Okay, we're gonna strap up Jay Bird. We got Suits is gonna do it coming up. And then even Dennys is going to do it himself. We're going to see if everybody can pass the test. And I figure, you know what? If this isn't good enough, next week we can bring in something else that will make everybody make a face. Maybe this wasn't tough enough.
Like what?
Oh, Virginia, just wait.
Poor sweet Dennys. He's been holding off eating his morning snack because this bit's been coming up. He's like, oh, I want to eat a snack.
This
but
is actually good for us. With all the food we've been consuming during quarantine, we could use a little diet.
You being positive right before I go is so annoying.
All right. So he said, apparently my burp had a lot of bass. Sorry about that. Oof. The apple cider vinegar, it is a tough thing to get down and keep down. We're playing You Can't Make a Face. The name of the game is you get strapped with the shot collar and you do a shot of something gnarly. We brought in apple cider vinegar today. I was inspired by this shot that my wife had given me. It was about an immune boost, and it had like a little bit of the vinegar in it with, I think, turmeric and ginger and all this kind of stuff. And wow, my face just about caved in when I did it. So Virginia and I both passed. It's mind over matter, maybe, is how you do it. But if you cannot do this shot without making a face, then you're going to do the shot and get shocked at the same time. Dennys is over there running the shot collar. And in just a second, we'll bring Suits in here He'll get to try it. Jaybird will be the executioner for both Dennys and for Suits on that, and you'll be the sole judge and jury. Okay, Jaybird's been meditating over here. It's all about getting your mind right, not even thinking about this stuff.
I think part of my mind is right now.
Which part?
The one real far back.
Everything you've put forward today don't look right.
All right. This is my pep talk. Blood in, blood out. Same team here.
I make mouth noises.
She does.
So many. It's unbearable.
And I sniffle a lot.
And I laugh into the microphone.
Okay, here we go. Apple cider vinegar, a hearty shot for Jaybird. He's looking right into the camera on KVJ TV. You can watch this on YouTube. You can see it also on demand a little bit later. Let's see if he makes a face here.
Do that trick I did for you. Hey, Bird, you got a new drink over here.
Bird, how you been, man? We got this new little drink you might want to try. It's got a lot of sugar in it.
Oh, I love sugar.
I know you do. I can't wait for you to try it. I think you're going to love it.
I'm going to try right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Bird has done it. Very nice.
Wow.
Look at that.
That like blue steel right there.
Wow. Now,
can I do anything natural now?
you can act natural now. Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, that really burns the heart.
Oh, it does.
Wait till you poop.
Oh,
Oh, it puckers your insides. It does. It's tough.
Oh, Dennys. I don't want to tell you. If I told you how bad it was, you would not sleep tonight.
Now, I think Dennys is going to be able to do this. I think the whole question is about Suits.
It Suits. It is. It's a
Suits
kid.
already has a tough time with some stuff, and I would be surprised if he has ever done apple cider vinegar. That just doesn't seem like that would be in his wheelhouse. He's not tried a lot of things. Yeah, he said he's in there saying he's never had it.
Has he ever tried apple cider?
Have you ever had an apple?
You're right.
What's this thing called an apple?
They come in two colors?
I think Dennys will be fine. Dennys will blow right through this with everybody else doing it. Dennys will be okay.
He's been dreading this. I guess he knew about this before me and Virginia knew about it. He's been dreading this all morning.
He has. Okay. Yeah, I'll let you guys know. I think I let everybody know at the same time. He didn't really get a heads up.
I was only
on
dreading it because I was about to go get some chips, and then I was like, "Well, I'm gonna wait till after this apple cider vinegar thing."
I just felt bad. He wanted some snacks.
Yeah. I think we'll probably do a round of this next week. We just got to figure out a better liquid. So we'll bring in a more powerful liquid.
Blood.
Human.
Too far. Too far.
Well, I was just thinking, I don't know that there's a lot of hard alcohols that I don't know that I could do a shot of it without making a face.
What about like clam juice?
I have clam juice. You laugh. I have clam juice here at the radio station.
No one is doubting that.
Yeah. It can't be fresh either.
Oh, no. It's been in the fridge for a while.
That's
You're going
tough.
to make me get sick.
Okay. All right, Jaybird, you got the shot collar. Dennys, you need to give face to KVJ TV here as you do your shot of apple cider vinegar. See, will Dennys make a face? I don't think there's in it. My money is all on Dennys.
My money's all on you, too.
Yeah.
I would hate to have to shock you right now.
He's not going to lose this.
Yeah, I should be all right. Although this stuff is pretty awful.
It is pretty awful.
But you're a calm-faced dude on the
Yeah,
rag.
Yeah.
I do whiskey shots to set the thing down. I make no face.
Now you're bragging.
Yeah.
You're a man.
Clam juice, I would absolutely make a face.
I would, too. You just shock me.
Yeah, maybe that's next week. Okay, all right.
Expired clam juice.
I don't know about that.
That's how you die.
Yeah. Okay, Dennys here is about to do this. Can't make a face or he gets the shock collar. He's strapped up with it right now. Bird is the executioner if he makes a face from drinking this shot of apple cider vinegar. Whenever you're ready, Dennys.
All right. Down the hatch, they say.
Yeah, they do. Oh, he took it nice and slow. Okay. Look at him over there. It's like he's trying to enjoy it.
It's like he's drinking a wine.
It is.
It's got a little back end floral notes.
He's good.
Yeah, he's very good. That's impressive.
A little too good.
When you live your whole life in a state of calm.
Yeah.
Ooh, I feel awful, though, man.
Yeah, God.
It is.
Do you guys feel
tough.
terrible? I feel terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
All right.
Starting to come back up a little
March
bit.
Suits in here. I feel bad.
March him in here.
I mean, he had to deal with all the comments about his skipping yesterday.
It's been a rough week for
I mean, this is.
I forced him to dress up as a squirrel.
outside
80 degrees out.
in a plastic uniform, sweating like an animal.
Our sweet suits. We had to take a break. I had to ice them down.
Oh, I was that close to passing out. It was so hot in that thing.
This is a
It's
tough
been a
week
rough
for
couple
Sue.
of days.
Okay, everybody has done it okay. You can't make a face here. Apple cider vinegar. That is what we got here, Suits.
We believe in you, Suits.
Got the shot collar on him?
Yeah, put that on.
Okay, get him ready, because remember, it's a double punch. If
It
he,
is.
as soon as he makes a face, if he does.
Everybody else put it on their groin, Suits.
Yeah, we did.
Nobody else got shocked, though, so.
Yeah, you're right.
We didn't. We put it on our leg.
Okay. Yeah, the longer this stuff is in my stomach, the worse I feel.
I feel terrible. I think we gotta do a replay, Kev.
You gotta go number 2?
No, I think I gotta lay down. I think I'm gonna faint.
Okay,
Don't think about it, Suits.
Can
Oh, no, I'm
Suits
pumped now.
Drink a shot of apple cider vinegar without making a face.
You got this, Suits.
All right.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
And it's down the hatch.
There it goes. And
He's stone cold, y'all.
Suits.
Stone cold.
Nothing. He passed the test. Suits passed the
I
test.
made my eyes tear up.
Okay, very impressive.
And
Well done.
This feels like it was a beginner's level.
It was just to try it out. Yeah, I didn't know how good or how bad that was going to be. I think you just got to bring in a better liquid next week.
Suits, be warned. Kevin is not done with you.
Okay.
No, next week
No.
I'm screwed.
Next week's going to be a lot tougher.
Your days are numbered, Reek.
Yeah. Next week is going to be a lot tougher. If anybody has any suggestions for things that would be tough to drink without making a face, it's got to be something that's edible that won't kill you, because gasoline is something that we can't do. Okay.
I got some ideas. I don't know if I can even say them on the radio, though.
Okay, they have to be things that you can drink.
Then no, we're not doing those, you
Yes.
witch.
Keep in mind, you're doing them too. Yeah. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's going to play when we do this next week.
The KVJ Show mornings and the best variety of the 2000s, 10s, and today. 97.9 WRMF.
Well, earlier in the show, I was telling you that just since I was a kid, I don't know what it is. I've never had it diagnosed. I never really talked to anybody about it. But I have a linear thing basically in my mind that if something is kind of out of place, I'm a little bit of a neat freak. It's a little OCD. It's a little all this kind of stuff. And there are things where if something's not quite right, like for me, like my fingernails, if my fingernails get past a certain length, it's so in my head that I kind of get clanked.
And you can't focus on other things
Right.
that really require your attention because you're looking at your hand. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so I always have to have all these kind of things in order. And if they're not, then it's tough for me. It kind of almost is like the Rain Man stuff, where he would have to have a certain kind of underwear.
It's
He'd
weird.
have to have those things at a certain time. He would have to watch people's court, and he would kind of freak. I work really hard to try to break that stuff. I always have, and try to change things up. And I can a little bit, but it's still there.
I totally get it. I had to go to therapy as a kid for it. I was one of the reasons why, because I had to move things off of lines, and I had to snap and kiss God during class. They called my parents and said, Jason keeps on kissing to the sky. And it was like an OCD thing. I was trying to say, hey, God, I'm here. How's it going? And if I did not move things off of a line.
Did they give you an official diagnosis for that?
They did. OCD.
It was OCD.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe that's a form of what I've got. And it's tough. I don't know if there's a cure for it. Is there a way you can talk your way out of it?
There's things to do. I mean, you can go the route of there's anywhere from medication to meditation to, certain little exercises you can do, but it also might be just some little quirk you have as well.
Yeah, it is.
There's ways to control it. I've gotten way better with it.
I try to use it as an advantage rather than a disadvantage. And there are times that I see it as a benefit, and there are times where it's like, gosh, this is just such a handicap.
Well, that's exactly the right mind frame for it. Try to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
Do you find that, because this is what's happening in my head, the quarantine at home has made me so hypersensitive about keeping the house clean that it's kind of driving me crazy when it's not. And I've got Rocco that likes to just walk around and eat. And so there's literally crumbs everywhere, every day. And I'm just psycho.
Well, you're bored too. Not bored in the sense that it's just you're there and you're always present. So it's going to be top of mind. If we had 9 events going on, you wouldn't give a crap if there was a little cookie crumb somewhere.
You're right. I wouldn't see it. I probably wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, I kind of am enjoying it now. At first, it was a little something to get used to people around the house, but I'm very much a routine type person, kind of like a Rain Man. And now that I've kind of settled into it, I do the same things, same way every single day. It's kind of a comfort to me. And so, and I'll do that. I'll purposely try to shake up my schedule to get me out of my comfort zone.
Well, that's good too.
Yeah. But it does. It'll clank me a little bit. I get a little rattled.
A big part of, I think of getting better on that kind of stuff is just knowing that you got it and saying, all right, this is identifying with, this is my personality. And I don't know if you notice it depending on your sleep schedule. Do you notice it coming out more if you're a little bit run down and tired?
Yeah, I always try to stay up on the sleep stuff because then I can control my emotions really well when I'm rested. And when I'm not, then I may say something or to me, I've even got it down where it's like your face. You ever have where sometimes you just don't have the right face when somebody says something to you?
Yes.
And now all of a sudden it's caused a to-do because your face wasn't prepared or wasn't right.
What does that face mean?
Yes.
You're just sharper if you get some sleep.
Yes. And then I kind of like doing the apple cider vinegar. I can kind of like, okay, yeah, I don't make a reaction. I'm like, all right, I just drink it in and I suppress the anger or whatever it might be.
Well, it makes sense because if you're tired, you're not thinking like a couple steps ahead. You're just kind of like in a cloud, really.
Right.
You're just trying to get through it.
I'm a bad mom if I don't get the proper sleep.
Oh boy,
really bad.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Someone's having a moment.
So somebody had asked after I was talking about that, and they texted and they said, so what would you say is the personality trait that you all hate most about yourself? And that for me, that might be one of them because I do miss a lot. My wife gets very frustrated with me. She gets upset. And she'd be like going, I talked to you about that. I'm like, no, I swear you did not talk to me about that. She's like, yeah, we had a conversation. And I just, something else might have been distracting me at the moment. I'm a very linear focused person. I can hyper focus and lock into one thing. But if there's things dancing over my periphery, it's completely, I don't even notice it. And I hate that. And that might be the number one thing that I hate about myself because I do miss a lot of things because of that. But I don't know that there's anything I can get around it.
Well, we all got things in our personality that you don't like. At least, if you love everything in your personality, that means you're probably a jerk.
Yeah. How long is this show? Because I don't know if you got enough time for my list.
Humans, man, we're complex creatures. We are weird. We're the weirdest species out there, man.
So do you have something that you would say personality trait that you hate most about yourself? The way that you react to something?
Yeah. Like multiple things.
What would be number one?
Probably if I have a short fuse with the children, that is disappointing.
Okay.
If I don't say what's bothering me to Panda and have like a sweet, normal conversation. Like, I don't have to always be upset. I can just, like, talk about stuff. But I just can't. I don't know what's the matter with me.
Parking your emotion, you get too emotional?
I'm just quiet. I don't say anything. And I just explode. Like, why do I do that? Why can't I just have a rational conversation?
Let it out slowly instead of having a volcano erupt.
Right.
Yeah, just that slow trickle of lava. That's better than having the... Okay. It's good self-realization.
Yeah, I mean, why can't I stop eating everything in the house? What the
hell? All right, Mama, you had enough. Quit beating yourself up.
I only said the number one.
Throwing a towel on this thing. It's a bloodbath. You're all right. You're okay.
I just want a cookie.
Bird, do you have one? Personality trait you hate most about yourself?
Absolutely.
Number one.
Number one, probably being impatient, because I think impatience leads to being defensive. I think it leads to I think it leads to depression. I think it leads to anxiety. So I think being impatient, and I think that goes with sleep. I know I'm able to handle my emotions a lot better if I can get as much sleep as possible. If I don't sleep, I get more defensive. I take things really hard when I shouldn't be taking them hard, and I'll harp on them a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I get the proper rest and if I'm doing the proper things and staying in that zone of positivity, it really does diminish it. But it's something you got to be aware of.
You process at a higher level.
Big time.
Yeah.
I just emotionally, I process at a higher level when I get
That's
some
why
sleep.
sleep is key. Absolutely. All right, well, I'm sure we missed a few, and I'm sure people would like to point out the ones that we did not acknowledge.
And you only said one.
Talking about what would be our biggest personality trait that we hate the most, or just, basically personality trait that you hate most about yourself. I was talking about mine, just kind of being a linear thinker, a little bit OCD, that kind of stuff, where I got little hang-ups and it's hard for me to kind of focus on anything outside on the periphery. And somebody said, I could totally relate, Kevin. You're talking about your wife saying that she had a conversation with you, and you're like, honestly, I'm like, I swear you didn't have that conversation with me. I didn't get it. She said, my 19-year-old will do this a lot, and she doesn't have my full attention, and she'll wait until I'm distracted or she's playing music or something to tell me what she wants to tell me, and then she wonders why I didn't hear what she said. And, basically I tell her now, you got to get my undivided attention. And my wife kind of does that now. She'll be like, hey, stop what you're doing and pay attention because I'm going to tell you something. And then I'm like, okay, let me completely lock in on you and focus on this. Because, she may yell something from the other room. Of course, she thinks because it came out of her mouth that it's, okay, no, I logged it. I'm like, no, you didn't. Didn't hear it, didn't process it, didn't work.
Gotcha.
Carl said, Kevin, OCD and spectrum are closely related. He said he has 2 kids on the spectrum. Interesting. Maybe I'm on the spectrum. I don't know. Never been tested for any of that stuff.
In our day, they didn't do as much testing as they do now. I mean,
No.
I can't even remember any kids getting tested for OCD that I knew.
No, in Logan, they don't believe in it.
Yeah, I wasn't, to be quite honest with you, they didn't start bringing OCD up to me until I got into my teen years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another text said, I have the same thing as Virginia. We've been so used to handling things on our own and dealing with our own emotion that it's hard to let it out and open up to somebody. So, talking about the frustrations we all have.
I mean, yeah, y'all, it might be time for a little teletherapy.
Yeah.
You want conference today?
How long you got,
Do you
bro?
want to do another show therapy session like we did back in the day? That went well.
Yeah.
Well, I think it would go much better today.
It would go way better.
Minus the individual that made all the problems.
All right, let's all right.
Yeah, we aren't exactly the best example in our endorsement for therapy. It was a complete failure, worst thing ever.
I told
waste
you-
of time and money.
I did this the one story where the therapist quit on me. He's like, Jason, I don't think I can help
Yeah.
you. I'm like, damn.
You know you're deep when a therapist says, sorry.
You know you got some issues.
Well, this is an interesting thought. This email that we got says, the other day you guys were talking about the one line you would give to a graduating senior. Mine would be, don't have a plan B or you will never truly succeed at your plan A. His line, don't have a plan B or you will never truly succeed at your plan A. And he said, just watch The Dark Knight Returns. Bruce Wayne continues to fail escaping the prison because he has a rope tied around his waist. He can't succeed until he has no safety net because he never fully committed with the knowledge that the rope was there. Interesting.
Virginia looks like she is about to pass out because she doesn't understand what you're talking about.
Batman? Who is this guy?
Sorry about that, yes. Only applicable if you've seen The Dark Knight Returns. He's in this pit that he's trying to escape. And if you fall, you're going to die. And so as he's trying to learn how to escape this pit, climbing this rock wall, he always has a rope around him. And several times he falls and it's like, and it snaps you and almost breaks your back and it's painful. It's terrible. But then one day he's just like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to make it happen. And they go to hand him the rope and he's like, no. He's like, because this is it. This is the final time, one way or the other. There's only one result. Either I get out of this pit or I die. And so and he goes and he scales it and he makes it out of the pit. And that's kind of what it is. That sometimes you need to, I guess it's kind of a mentality of, you know what, burn the ships because we're not going back. There's no return. So we've landed on this foreign land. We're coming here to conquer and we've burnt all the ships. So there's no retreating. There's no going back to the homeland. We either win or we die here trying.
Yeah, that's all great for the movies and all. But look, okay, let's say Fat Man over here tries to do it. You know what, Virginia, I don't need the rope. And I'm not going to die. I'm just going to do it. I would die. Absolute Fat Man would die. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that applies for every situation.
And I like having a plan A, B, C, and D. I mean, and work all of them. Shouldn't you have multiple hustles?
If we didn't have a plan A or B or C, I don't think we'd have a job right now.
I think what it is, and I was listening to a podcast with Scooter Braun, the guy that found Justin Bieber. And he said, when we are hiring people, we look for burn the ships kind of people. Because we know that if a person has that kind of determination and they're not going to accept failure, that they will hit failures along the way, but we know that they will be resilient and they will pivot and they will keep going and they are not going to quit. We know that they will eventually get to that goal and they will be a success. We find that in entertainers. We find that in anybody where they're like going, I've moved to Los Angeles and I'm not going home. I got nothing to go back to. I either become famous or I'm going to live on the streets. And they say that's the kind of person that we hire because that's the mentality we want. And that would be just this. This would be don't have a plan B or you'll never truly succeed in plan A. Don't always be thinking, well, at least I got something to fall back on. You go at it and say, I'm going to conquer or I'm going to die trying.
I don't like it. The reason why I don't like it is because it's only for the movies. It's not practical for real life. You have to.
Scooter Braun's real life.
Yeah, Scooter Braun.
Bieber's real life. All of those situations are real life.
Scooter Braun, first of all. That's your dime a dozen. That's your millionaire story right there.
The reason why is because they came in it with that mentality.
But if he had that same mentality for a different, like I see what you're saying. For
Scooter Braun is diversified too. He's got several plans.
No, I think you understand what it is. When you get into it, you know, when he went for something, he said, what I'm going to be is I'm going to be the biggest talent agent on the planet. And yeah, his plan B might have been I could work at Dad's soda pop stand and I could, fling burgers. But that is not an option to me. I'm putting everything out there that I am going to be in the entertainment industry or nothing.
But you're comparing that. That's a different example than the Batman example. Because Batman, like, if you don't have the rope, you can die. You would die. You're I see what you're saying for a career. Let's burn the ships.
Well,
I get
it's
that.
the mentality of both, where it's saying that, hey, you sometimes have to sell all out, put all your chips in, and say, I'm going big or I'm going home. It's all or nothing mentality to reach a certain level of success.
I think on some things, yes, and some things, no.
Mm-hmm. And never accept defeat. Sure, burn the ships, do it at all costs. But, I mean, you have to know, too, when to give up on a dream that's just not working out.
Or adjust the dream.
Exactly.
That's what it is. That's
you have
the
to
pivot
be an
to
ultimate problem solver for your own life.
That's the pivot. You don't lose the desire. The desire is still there, but you might change the approach. That's what they're looking for. Somebody that doesn't lose the dream, they don't lose the fire, they keep going, but they may readjust the strategy when they find more information out.
I mean, I'm all for, dying on the ground for something you love and the passion, but, if I'm in a well, like a Batman, I want the rope.
Well, I think the world is divided between plan A's only and plan A, plan B. And I think that's the question is, knowing who you are. Are you an all or nothing plan A person? Or you're like, nah, I got plan A, plan B, plan C.
But I think it's more layered than that. I think I would be an all-in person on certain aspects in my life, and then on other things, I'd have a plan B.
Sure. Yeah, I think this is just like when you're talking about the advice you would give to that graduating senior. Your future is ahead of you. What are you going to be? What are you going to do? And that's where he said, my advice would be don't have a plan B or you'll never truly succeed in plan A.
Mine would be don't watch Batman because you get into an argument with your friend. No, I'm just kidding.
Mine would be like, don't ever get stuck in a well. I mean, that sounds terrible.
Do you want the rope in the well scenario? Do you want the rope?
He tried enough times with it and realized that it wasn't getting him to where he wanted to go. And so he had to make an adjustment. And I do at some point you say, you know what? I've been doing the same thing over and over again without success. I've got to change my approach.
I agree with that.
And that's the gutsiest thing out there. And probably one of the biggest things for me and my life personally, I'm like, man, a lot of times you've taken the cowardly approach. Sometimes I'm like, I wish you would have been the Batman and said, you know what? Forget it. Let's go without the rope. Let's take that job in Miami and see what happens.
Uh-oh. Kevin's going through something.
Should have had the rope on that one.
If we didn't have a backup plan, we're not an RMF.
See, I'm a plan A guy, and it fails terribly. Don't listen to anything I say. Jaybird's Thought of the Day is next. A lot of people are toasting each other in the KVJ TV chat room. You can tell people are getting all ready to get their cocktails on. I believe tomorrow at 5 p.m. you can lock into the KVJ Show Facebook page and see us with a virtual happy hour. We're going to be on there having a couple cocktails, just chatting, just having a good little time, kicking off the weekend.
And we'll upload it to YouTube after.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to have everybody come join us. They say Americans drank 55% more alcohol than usual last month. Wow.
How do they get that stat? Is that through sales, probably?
I think so, yeah. I think that's kind of how they base it on. It's just the sales, because they're really tracking that right now. They say that's one of the untouched industries. In fact, in industry, it's been booming because of coronavirus has been booze.
Yeah, if you have a system in place to get your product out there, like distribution, if you're there, you're golden.
Yeah. So it is really increased. So more people are knocking it back. So whatever your poison be, grab it and join us 5 o'clock tomorrow. You can join us here in just about 10 minutes. We're going to get the After the Show podcast going on Facebook and YouTube. So you can watch there. Lots of content we always drop for you. So before we get to that, Jaybird, if you would, though, I think it's about time for a little bit of your wisdom.
Well, talking about, we got real deep in this last hour.
Yeah, we did.
Covered a
Plan
lot.
A, Plan B, yeah,
Plan
lots
dreams.
of good stuff. Yeah.
Something to think about.
Okay.
20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do.
Yeah.
I lost my place. Hold on. Damn it.
Can I be more disappointed now, or do I have to wait 20 years?
I went too big.
I mean, disappointment is
Wow.
riding high.
Whoa.
All right. I'm trying to be positive here. You're not helping.
Kevin said he needs to fire you.
20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did do. Oh.
Uh-huh.
One of you, if you're confused, Virginia, that means you're stupid.
It's just hard when
The music ran out.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
You're
ridiculous.
eyeballing me like I owe you money. It's hard to do my job, dog.
when the wise guy's got a reboot, when the wise music runs out.
Looking for some KVJ merchandise and swag? Go to KVJShow.com and click KVJ Gear.